for today's course are located in the video description below. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Welcome to Canva Essentials. You're learning with Mo Jones, IT professional and educator. Today we'll take a look at the wonderful Canva app. We'll get started. Just take a look at, what is Canva? And we'll take a look at some examples of some wonderful creations that we can build. We'll learn some basic design principles. We'll actually create a design. And once we've created our design, we'll learn how to export and or share our design. And we'll take a look at some modern practical applications that we will be creating for this course. So head on over to canva.com and come right back.
Looking to support our channel and get a great deal? Become a member today to unlock ad-free videos. That's right, your favorite courses without a single ad. Interested in a specific video? Purchase one of our ad-free courses individually. Looking for even more? Gain access to exams, certificates, and exclusive content at learnitanytime.com. More information can be found in the video description below.
Now, before we log into Canva and kind of get set up here, just want to take a quick tour to see what Canva can do. As you can see here, I'm logged in and there's a lot of really nice, bright, big and bold, different types of graphics that we can create here. If I scroll down, we can take a look at some of my recent designs. So what can we do with Canva? Well, we can present, we can create an infographic, we can create some social media posts if we need to, and we can just create a document which kind of mimics Microsoft Word, but we have some more modern capabilities that we can use. I'll go ahead and fire up this presentation here. So you can use Canva to design a presentation, and once you have your presentation up and running, well, you can go ahead and you can present. And there's a lot of other pretty nice things that we can do. Here are the slides on the bottom, slide number 2, slide number 3. And all of these are little placeholders. So these are all just elements that are aligned to the grid. So I can interact with all of these elements. If I right click on them, there's a lot of pretty nice things that I can do. But let's just go ahead and present this. I'll go ahead and click on the present here. And what's really nice is I have a lot of presentation options. So I can present it full screen if I want to. I can turn on the presenter view, and this will give me my notes. I can actually present and record. And of course, I can go ahead and configure this to play automatically as well. If I click on presenter view, down here in the bottom, I can see, just like PowerPoint, I can see my upcoming slides and my notes as well. And when I first started using Canva years ago, I was primarily using it for presentations. If I click on present and record, we can add our picture in here. So this is just really, really nice. If I click on autoplay, we can just kind of designate the speed at which these slides will progress here as well. I'll go ahead and click on present full screen, and I will go ahead and click on present here. And there you go. So it looks really, really nice. We have a nice little kind of like a laser pointer here that we can use. And this arrow is actually interactive. So notice it's pointing to the right, indicating I can go to the next slide. If I move it to the left here, it's pointing to the left, so I can go back. So this is really, really nice in here. And there you go. So we can just create a really nice presentation. We have a lot of different elements and little placeholders here that we can just drag onto the canvas. So this is pretty nice. If I move my mouse to the bottom of the screen, I can see the progression bar. And some other really nice features as well is I can make this interactive. So if I were to click on this button here, if I'm presenting this, let's say in a classroom or in a Zoom or Teams meeting, I can go ahead and fire this up and everyone will be able to interact with this as well. So that's a pretty nice feature. And if I want to, I can go ahead and open up the presenter view. So it opens up in another window for me. So now I can move this over to my next screen and I can use this to, kind of control. I can see my notes in here and I can see my upcoming slides as well. So those are just some of the basics that we can do here with Canva. I'll go back. I'll go ahead and close this one out. I'll go back to home and let's take a look at this really nice infographic. So we all love infographics. So here's one that's really from a template, and you'll find there's a lot of really nice templates that we can use. So here's an infographic. I'll go ahead and make this present full screen. So here's my infographic. So whether you want to present this, you can go ahead and do that. Here's page 2 of the infographic. So a nice timeline that's kind of built in. And again, the whole idea is modern visuals. We all love infographics here. So some pretty nice tools that are in here. Now, once I'm done, I can go ahead and print it. So I can print with Canva, different options here, right? So I can print it on an actual object like a t-shirt or a coffee cup or a coffee mug, business cards that I can use, and just a lot of different options here. And of course, I can present this virtually or post it virtually somewhere else. Let's take a look at one more. Let's see, what else do we have in here? So this one is more of just well, here's a social media post. I'll go ahead and click on this one. So here's a nice little, just a little post that we can add to our social. And if I were to, let's see, if I click here, this will actually play it for me. So a nice little quick clip that we can post to our social. If I click on share here, I can actually go ahead and collaborate, but right down here, if I'm connected to my social media account, I can go ahead and share this on social. And here you go, all of the social media platforms that we can use. So pretty nice. And so those are the different things that we can do with Canva. Let's continue with lesson 1, getting started with Canva. We took a look at some of the really impressive benefits of using Canva. Let's go ahead and take a look at creating and navigating your account. So again, with Canva, we can create things like documents, presentations, and social media posts. But in order to do that, we'll need to go ahead and sign up. So signing up is the process of navigating to canva.com. And once you're there, we can go ahead and either log in if you have an existing account, or you can go ahead and sign up and you'll be provided with a dialog to be able to go ahead and create an account. After you create your account, you will have the option to try Canva Pro for free. So the Pro feature gives you a lot of really nice tools. You'll have access to more resources and elements that you can add to the canvas. High quality photos, videos, fonts, a lot of different things that we can add. And you also get some storage in here as well. So you can either opt out, or you can start a free trial, or you can just go ahead and maybe using Canva for your team, you can get a team trial there as well. And eventually you just want to sign up for the Pro account indefinitely. Now, once you go ahead and sign in, so here's the interface. So you'll notice that there's a few different areas of the interface here. So here we just have the side pane on the left here, where you can, create a project, take a look at the different templates that are available. And down here in the bottom, you can go ahead and navigate your recent designs. Up at the top, you can go ahead and click on your avatar to take a look at your account settings. And there's just a lot of different settings that are in here as well. Our attention is drawn to what will you design today, as you can see here. And so this is just kind of how we navigate here. I'm going to go ahead and open up my account. So here you go. You can see that I opted for the Pro account here. And right now I'm on the Home tab. And from here, I can either search for a template. So lots of really nice templates in here, websites, social media. One of the really nice things with Canva as well, if you create, for example, let's say you create a document, you can convert that document into an interactive website, which is pretty cool. If I click on more here, just so many different options and different things that we can create. So whatever you want to create, it's pretty much here. Here's a book cover. even desktop wallpapers, right? Photo collage, infographics, mind maps. So a lot of things that we can do. I'll go ahead and scroll down here. So I'm still on the Home tab. And here's some different templates that I can use for infographics. So a vast library of creations. So we can either start from scratch or we can go ahead and start with a template. Typically, I'll start with a template unless I feel like really being creative. There's a Zoom virtual background that we can create. So pretty nice. Now, if I click on here for Design Spotlight, here's some different, so just so many opportunities to create things. Right? Education, and here are the different plans and the pricing. We even have some learning in here. So if you want to learn, we have some step-by-step designs here that we can use. So a lot of opportunities, really nice platform. If I click on projects here, I can see any recent projects that I've been working on. You can even create folders to be able to kind of just, go ahead and organize your designs. Here are my different designs down here. And of course, we have templates. So if I click on here, here is the vast world of templates that I can use. You do have the capability to upload your own content into the library as well. So if you want to go ahead and upload, you can do that, or you can use the photos that are already available to you in the vast library here as well. So pretty nice, really high quality photos that we can use. And of course, icons. So a lot of icons that we can explore. Maybe we're looking for map and navigation icons. So a lot of really nice options that are in here. You can follow creators as well, which would be a good thing to do. Not currently following anyone, but you can feel free to do so to just gain some inspiration and kind of learn as well. Of course, you have your start content. Haven't started anything yet. And then we have the new Magic Studio, which uses the power of AI to boost your creative capabilities as well. So pretty nice. So those are the navigation basics here up on the top right. You can download the app if you want to. You can go ahead and interact with the different settings. We have a search bar here where you can search for all of your creations, and we're good to go. Now that we're all set up, let's go ahead and move on to lesson number 2. We'll take a look at the canvas and we'll take a look at some of the design elements and some of the layout basics. For this, I'm going to go ahead and create a document here. So I just want to start with a blank canvas. So I'll click on Docs. So right from the Home tab, I'll go ahead and click on a document. And many of us are familiar with Microsoft Word. So I'll go ahead and click on a doc here. Now, when I click on the document, I can see here I just have a blank document to work with, or a blank page. I like to call it a canvas. So here's a blank canvas. And we have a little quick action icon here that we can use. Now, if I click on the elements over here on the left, well, first, if I click on templates, right? If I click on templates, then I have some really nice templates in here. Once we start using template, the recently used will show up. And if I scroll down here, here are some other document templates that are available. So notice a lot of these options will require the Pro plan. So I would encourage you to at least sign up for the trial here. So here are some document templates that we can use. And here's some other ones in here as well. So these are more kind of headers that we can add. So a lot of design options in here that we can use. If I even wanted to search for a particular type of document template, I can simply come in here and I can type. I was looking for a coffee shop. Let's see if I can find anything related to coffee. And look at that. Here's a couple of templates. This one actually says cafe on there. So I could go ahead and insert that. Let's see what that will look like. And look at that. So that's pretty nice. So we have some nice options in here. We can see that we have several elements, right? So we have looks like a nice header here. We can see we have a text placeholder. And we can see we have a table that was inserted in here as well. We have an image. So all these different things are actually interactive. Let's see if I can undo that. There we go. So those are the templates. What about elements? I'll go ahead and click on elements here. And this is where everything kind of comes into place. So there are a lot of different elements that we can insert. We don't necessarily need to create anything. We just need to go ahead and add them to our canvas and maybe just resize them or reposition them or realign them. So we have tables, we have charts, we have some little bit of AI creation in here as well. We have graphics, we have photos. So lots of really, really nice photos in here that we can use. If I scroll down, we also have videos in here. So if you want to incorporate a video, that's a really, really nice touch. Right. If I click on brand here, well, we can actually add logos, and this is really a really creative space. We can kind of just, add our own colors and our own brands in here if we wanted to. If I click on uploads, so here's where we can add images and videos to our online space here. Right. Or we can even connect, for example, Google Drive, and connect there as well. So we can upload images, videos, audio, and GIFs as well. Here's videos. So the same thing. So right here, I can click on upload an image or a video from either my computer or from my other cloud spaces. So pretty nice. If I click on projects, so here are different ways to manage my projects. I can create a folder if I want to go ahead and manage. I'll go ahead and create a folder, and I'll just call this folder Canva demo. And I'll save some creations in here. If I wanted to go ahead and share this with my team, I can go ahead and, add some collaborators on here if I want to. I don't want to do this right now. Let's go ahead and click on continue. And there we go. Right. So that's just kind of navigating the different options that are available when we are creating on Canva here. Finally, if I click on apps, here are just some different apps that I can use. For example, let's click on photos. And here's some nice photos that we can add to our canvas. I'm going to go back on elements here, and I'll scroll all the way to the top. And let's see, maybe I just want a simple rectangle. Right. So here's some different rectangles that I can use. Here's some placeholders for photos, placeholders for videos, placeholders for graphics. Right. So I'll just go ahead and drag that onto my canvas here. So here's my little rectangle. And now I can go ahead and try and move this around. I can resize it. And once we have more elements on the grid here, we'll notice trying to move this is not really allowing me to do it. Once I introduce some other elements in here, like text boxes and other shapes, we'll notice that we'll have a grid system where we can just kind of align things as well. I'll go ahead and insert another one here. Let's see. I'll insert this basic box here. All right. And there we go. Once you add an element, if you click on you can either right click on it, and we have some other options here that we can use. For example, we can duplicate that if we want to. We can delete it. And if you double click on it, you get some more advanced formatting options that appears here on the left. So I can crop, I can make some adjustments to it. Lots and lots of formatting that we can use. And we even have effects in here. We can apply effects. We'll dive into these a little later, but for now, we just want to be able to see what we can add to our canvas. For lesson 3, let's go ahead and create a design from a template. We'll keep it simple. We'll go ahead and just make some basic adjustments to the template. We'll add text and we'll add images as well. I'm back on my Canva homepage. So I can get the templates in several ways. I can click on the templates here. I can go ahead and search for a template, or I can even just click on any one of these different, for example, document templates, presentation templates, and even website templates. If I click on docs here and scroll to the bottom, here are the different types of templates that I can see, and they look really, really nice. But to keep things uniform, I'll go ahead and search for a travel to-do list. So I'll click on the search bar here, and I'll click on travel to-do list. I'll scroll down, and this is the one that I want right here. So I'll go ahead and click on this one. So this is a template. So we're going to be kind of limited in terms of what we can do, but we'll be able to make some basic changes. I'll go ahead and customize this template. And here we go. So one thing to note, we can undo or redo changes, and we can see that this is saved automatically. So no need to click on the File tab and save. Everything is saved automatically as we make adjustments to our document here. If I click on the File tab, there is no save, but I can make a copy, or I can download a copy of this actual here as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and explore. At the very top, we can see a big header. This is actually a content placeholder. So this is a rectangular placeholder, and inside of this placeholder, we have a text placeholder, and then we also have an image. So this is actually 3 kind of in one, layered into one here. So if I were to click right here inside of my travel list, it's not really working here. If I double click, this will open up the design options that are available for this grouping of elements here, right? So here's the rectangle. Here's the image on the inside. Now I'm focused on the image. And if I click on the text, here we can see the text box placeholder in here. So if I wanted to make any changes, I could just come right over here to the design options. I can go ahead and choose another type of header if I want to, right? Maybe I don't want that big picture in there. So I can do that. So I can either add one of these headers, or I can just delete this altogether and just insert a title there as well. I'll go for, let's see, maybe I'll just replace this one with something else. I'll go for this one, and I'll just change the text that's in here, and I'll just call this my vlog list, right? So I'll be traveling and doing some vlogging there as well. I'll go ahead and press save. And we can see that that's been updated as well. But if I don't like that, I can just go ahead and delete this. So I'll just press delete. I prefer to just put an actual title here. So I have the quick actions. If I click here, I get some quick actions that I can use, such as I can add a heading or a subheading or the body of a message, several design options, and we also have magic write. Well, for this one, I just want to insert a heading. And for the heading, I'll just go ahead and put my vlog list. And there we go. I'll go ahead and fill out this first one here. So the destination is going to be Singapore. So the other elements that are on here, so this is a table. We can see that we can delete this table here. Down here, we have another placeholder with a picture inside of it. Down here on the bottom, we also have another table. So tables are very common in the template world because tables they give you more control over the flow of your design and for more consistency as well. For each of the cells, you can add different objects like pictures, checkboxes, and here, and of course text. Finally, on the bottom, we have another table down here as well. Okay, I'll go ahead and this is actually a date placeholder. So if I click on here, or date element rather, so I'll go ahead and click here. And let's say I want to travel January 1st until January 31st. So there we go. I'll go ahead and change this picture here. I want something that represents Singapore. So if I right click, not really a lot of options there. So I'll just go ahead and delete this. And now I can go ahead and insert a picture of Singapore. So for that, I'll go ahead and click on elements here. And I can see my recently used pictures here. Now this is a vast library of elements. So sometimes it's more efficient to just search what you're looking for. So if I say, Singapore photo wide, I want a wide photo, and I press enter, it provides me with some wide pictures for Singapore. I do like this one, so I'll go for that one here. And there we go. So my first destination is Singapore, and here's the actual image here as well. Let's see if I can add a row to this table. So I'll go ahead and add a row. Let's see if I can put this picture inside of that cell. And we can. Look at that. So that's pretty cool. So I can do that. I'll go ahead and center this text here. Right. So as you can see, it's behaving a little better. Otherwise, I would have had to, kind of edit the image and crop it. There's some really nice cropping tools in here. We can crop it to a particular orientation, such as 16:9 or 5:4. So I can do that if I want to, but I like just fitting it right there inside of that cell. Well, let's see if I can duplicate this actual table. So I'll try to click on it so that you notice the outline here. So now that I have selected the entire table, sometimes we just need to click on the border here. And let's see if I can duplicate this table. So I will click on, all right, here. Here it is, duplicate. And look at that. So I just saved my design. No need to insert a table and redo everything here. I just need to change the location, or the destination rather. Go to Jamaica. And let's see if I can replace the picture if I right click. Not giving me the capability to replace it here. So what I can do is let's see. I could even insert a image placeholder in here if I want to. Let me try that. I'll go ahead and insert this image placeholder. Actually, that's not the one I'm looking for. I just want one that's a little more simple. You know what? That's fine. I'll keep it simple. I'll look for a picture of Jamaica. Jamaica photo wide. And let's see. I'll go for this one. So there we go. So that looks pretty good. Right. And of course, I'll change the dates. We'll just go forward a month here. There we go. So pretty nice. Looks pretty nice so far. And then of course down here, this works well right out of the box. Things to do, activities, so forth and so on. If I want to remove any of these, I can just delete them. But I am good to go. So that's how we can start with the template, how we can just make some basic adjustments. But we want to use that little quick actions here to insert our text, designs, and use the elements to be able to insert images. Now that we've created a simple design, we'll take a look at how we can share, collaborate, or even export our design as well. Now that I'm back on my design here, on the very top right, if I click on share, well, I'll have some different sharing options depending on the type of object that you're working with. I'll click on share here, and this is a document template. So I can add a collaborator here if I want to. So I can just type an email address in here and I can provide them with edit access. Or I can say, you know what, anyone with the link can actually edit this file. So I can either send an email invitation or I can go ahead and copy the link that I can share as well. Now, a couple of different things that I can do. If I wanted to download this, I can download this either as a PDF or as a Word file. So that's one option. And of course, we need to go ahead and set the paper size. By default, this is A4. I'll go ahead and download this to PDF. And let's see. So it's actually downloading for me. And I'll go ahead and open this up. Let's see what this looks like here. So I'll just click on it. And there you go. So just 2 pages. And we are good to go. So here's the vlog list on page 1. And here is the rest of the information, kind of the activities and reminders here on page 2. So pretty cool. Okay. So good to go. I'll ignore that little message here. So that's what I can do. If I click on share, what else can I do? If I click on more, I can actually kind of convert this into more of a website view and feel. So I'll go ahead and click on here. And I can go ahead and get a custom domain for this if I want to. I just want to preview it to see what that would look like. So we can see this is what it will kind of look like if it's a website. It's just kind of an endless scroll. Let's see what it would look like on an actual mobile device. So if I go ahead and click here, let's see what that would look like. It's pretty responsive. It's kind of, cutting off my text here in the table, but everything else is pretty responsive in here. As we can see, we have to kind of scroll for the other table here. So it looks pretty nice. If you want to publish it, you can go ahead and publish the website. But for now, I'll just go ahead and click on close and I'm good to go. Well, let's see what else I can do here. Up here at the very top, I have this feature called Magic Switch. I believe this is a pro feature. But if I click here, this allows me to do a couple of pretty nice things. What I would like to do is, I can convert this to a presentation. So if I click here, right, and we can see there's kind of a newer feature here. So it's called Docs to Decks. So I can convert this document into a presentation. Well, let's see what this looks like. I'll click on Get Started here. And it's creating the presentation for me. And it's going to ask me a bunch of questions in terms of what I want to do. And this is pretty cool. Now, I don't have a lot of content in here, so you can imagine how much more interesting this would look if I had much more content, right? But we can see it's kind of splitting up my data into different slides here. It's not using my images though, but let's see. So it's kind of created a title page for me. Slide number 2 is destination number 1. Slide number 3 is destination number 3. And then on slide 4, I have kind of my to-do list there, and then kind of what's next. Over here on the left, let's see, I'll go ahead and change the theme here. Use a more basic blue and white theme that I can use. So that's a pretty nice feature. And before we even convert this, we can go ahead and just kind of scroll through, make sure that everything looks good. I like this black and white here. All right, let's see what else we have. This one has a nice little touch on it. This looks pretty nice and clean. I'll go ahead and create my presentation from this. And let's see what that looks like. Let's see what that will generate for me. Okay, so here is my vlog list. Here's slide number 2. Did not bring over my images though. Again, it's a work in progress. I can always add the image here now that we know how to do that. Here's page 3, page 4, and page 5. And of course, I can go ahead and add a page. If I click on add a page here, just adds a blank page. I'll go ahead and see if I'll delete the page. It doesn't give me the option to change the page style. I'll just delete the page here and I'm good to go. I could go into grid view where I can see all of my slides. If I want to go ahead and reshuffle them, move them around, I can go ahead and do that. All right, I'll exit that view and I'll go to present full screen. Now let's see what that looks like. So here are my slides. I need to go backwards. And here we go. Right. I'll press the escape key to escape that, and I'm good to go here as well. Now that I've converted this to a presentation, let's click on the share options. Let's see if there are any new options that are available. All right, so we do have the present. We did not have that before. We also have present and record, now that this is a presentation. If I go down here, I can also share this on social. So I can connect to one of my socials here. And I can also go ahead and print with Canva. So I can print cards, flyers, trifolds, different things that I can do. So that is pretty cool. For lesson 5, let's go ahead and create some practical applications. We'll go ahead and create a social media post. We'll explore a marketing design concept, and we'll take a look at a business design. So we'll create 3 different applications and we'll take it from there. So I'm back on my Canva home here and I want to go ahead and create something. So I'll start off with a social media option here. So I can click here. I can also click on create a design here, but I know that I want a social media related type of post. So I'll go ahead and click on social media. And we have some different ones here. So we have one for Instagram, let's say Instagram post, a Facebook post, Instagram story, WhatsApp status, Facebook as well. So a couple of different options here that we can use. If I keep scrolling, here's a YouTube banner. So really nice tool. I've actually used this before to create a YouTube banner for your YouTube page. I'll go back though, and I'll just go for an Instagram post. So I'll click on create blank here. And let's explore this and let's see what we can do about it. So we can see it's already just kind of, it has the framing that we need for the Instagram post. Now, if we wanted to, up here on the very top right, we can add a page. Right now, this is just one page. We can add another page here if we want to. We can also go ahead and duplicate the page. Let's click on the File tab and let's see if we have any other elements that we can interact with. Let's see. No, we don't really have anything else in here that we can use. I'll just click away from there. So I can either just kind of create something new here, or I can scroll through here and grab a template. So typically it kind of lands on the template tab once you are creating something. So I'll go ahead and scroll down. Let's see if I find something interesting that I want to use. So again, this can be a little overwhelming. There's a huge library, but right up here is telling me to just type 5 words to describe what I'm looking for. So I think I'll go ahead and do that. Right. So maybe I want to create a post about, 4 steps to fitness. So I'll go ahead and press enter. Let's see if I can find anything there that's going to work for me. Right down here, I can see I have some, we'll scroll down. Well, here's one here. 4 steps to a fitter you. Get moving. So this one is 1 page. We can see this one has several pages here. I'll go ahead and scroll down. And let's see, this one has 4 steps to boost your social media. 4 steps. So this is pretty kind of in the ballpark, right? Different things that I want. I'll go ahead and choose one of these. Maybe just way too many to choose from. I'll go ahead and choose this one. This one looks pretty good. So I'll click here. And now I have the shell of what I'm looking for. And now I can just go ahead and change these different elements in here, right? So I'll go ahead and change the text here. So I'll just say 4 steps to a fitter you. There we go. And let's see, for here, we'll go ahead and add some content in here as well. And I'll just say, you can do it. A little motivational there. And I'll leave these numbers in here. Those are perfectly fine. Now I just need to go ahead and write down my 4 steps here. For here, let's see if I can right click and I can detach the image. So maybe I'll detach the image and add another image in there, something that has to do with fitness. We have different layers in here as well. So depending on the type of creation that you're working with, you'll have different capabilities to interact with the layers and so forth and so on. Let's click on the File tab here. Let's see. Nope, nothing new. That's perfectly fine. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and double click on this image. Let's see what I can do. I can apply some effects to it. I can adjust it. I can crop it. I can change the color if I want to. That's not really what I'm looking for. I think what I want to do is maybe change that picture. So I'm going to right click on it and I am going to detach the image. And I'll go ahead and delete that image. So we can see this is a little placeholder. So this is a picture placeholder. So this allows you to just drag pictures right in there. So I'll click on the Elements tab here and I'll search for a picture related to fitness. And I'll keep it simple. I'll just go for the first one that I kind of see here. I'm already clicked on this placeholder, so let's see if I can just click on the picture. Let's see if it goes in there. Nope, doesn't. I'm going to have to drag it in there. That's perfectly fine. So I'll just drag the picture in there. And there we go. So that is pretty cool. So kind of just simplifying the process for us. If I want to change the picture, let's see if I find another one here. Let's see if I can just drag this. Let's see if I can overwrite this picture. All right. So it puts it in there. Let's see if I detach this image. Yep, so it actually just replaces it if I just drag it in there. All right, very good. So I'll go for, let's see if I could find another one. All right. We're good to go. I'll stick with this one here. So 4 steps to a fitter you. You can do it. So again, we're just making use of this template here, and we're just interacting with the different elements. This is a really well-designed element. We have different elements in here, such as arrows indicating, kind of the timeline or the step-by-step process in here. So I'll go ahead and just enter some details in here and we'll be good to go. I can go ahead and change the colors if I want to. Okay, so I'm good to go. I did use a little AI tool to come up with 4 steps to a fitter you. And this is what it came up with. So I was able to add that here and I'm good to go. So there you go. Here's our social media post. Now, remember, whenever you click on any of these individual elements, we can edit them. If I click on the background here, I can change the background color if I want to something else, make it a little darker or green, or go with a different background in here. I can even go ahead and add a new color if I want to. So I'm good to go. That looks pretty good. I'll go for a slightly darker color. Actually, no, it's a little too dark. A little charcoal. Right. And there we go. So now I'm ready to go ahead and share this. If I click on the share icon here, I'll go ahead and share on social. And we just need to go through the process of connecting your Instagram account. Now, when you click here, you have 2 options. You can either immediately post from the mobile app, or you can schedule posts from your desktop. It's asking me to use the Canva mobile app to post to Instagram. So I can scan the QR code with my app and I can share it to my DMs, my stories, and more. So pretty cool. Let's go ahead and create a marketing design. Let's see what's available in the marketplace for marketing your business. I'm back on my home page here. Now, there's several ways, again, many opportunities for us to insert an actual application here or creation. But I'll go ahead and click on Create a Design up here on the top right. Maybe a little overwhelming, kind of seeing all of these different options here, choosing templates. So Canva has given us this really nice Create a Design button here to kind of simplify the process for us. I'll go ahead and click on Create a Design. And when it comes to marketing, I'll just type marketing in here. And we can see we have a marketing flyer, marketing infographic, postcards, different things that we can do in here as well, which is pretty cool. Even marketing video, marketing report. But I want something a little more specific. Maybe we want to go ahead and promote a new school. So I'll type school in here. And let's see what I can find. Here's a school flyer. I'll go ahead and use this one. Think of marketing, I think of flyers. So here's the actual flyer. And as always, on the left, we have the different templates that we can use. Now, for the purpose of this course, we'll start with a template because in reality, building a flyer from scratch can take a very long time. And it should, because you have to make a lot of decisions in terms of the colors and the layout, what you're trying to communicate. So it can be a pretty daunting task in here as well. But after this course, you'll have the tools that you need to be able to create one from scratch. For now, I'll go ahead and choose an existing one. And I just want one that has a lot of detail, but not too much. I'm looking for some text with some images and some shapes in there. So let's see. And of course, we can go ahead and manage and make any changes that we need to. This one looks pretty good. I like this. Nice balance. I'll go ahead and insert that one here. And I'll go ahead and just zoom in just a little bit. And now I have some really nice design in here. This is really well designed, really nice balanced colors. And we can see once we have the flyer open, we can see the template style that's being used here. So here are the different colors that are incorporated. Okay, so I'll just make some basic changes. I'll go ahead and change the name of the school. So I'll just double click in here and I'll just put MJ Academy. Preschool is fine. For the logo, I can change the logo if I want to. So I could just go ahead and delete it actually. So I'll go ahead and delete the logo. And if I click on the elements here, I can look for a school logo. And here's some different school logos that I can use. I like this one here. I'll go ahead and drag this one onto the canvas. Now we can just go ahead and resize it. Now that we have a lot of objects on here, notice as I'm moving this around, we can kind of see how it's interacting with the other objects. So those are the temporary grid lines that lets us know how we are aligned with the other objects around it. So I'll go ahead and just make this a little smaller. I want to make sure it's centered right there. That looks pretty good. Now, if you have your own logo, you can add your own as well. So if I click on the uploads area here, I'll go ahead and upload a file from my computer. So I'll click on upload and I have a logo in here somewhere. I'll use this little, well, let's see. I think I have another one of an owl. Here we are. So now the great thing is once I upload it to my cloud space, I can reuse these images in other creations. So I'm going to delete this one. I'll bring my owl over. And it wants to fit inside of that frame, which is not what I want to do. So I'm going to go ahead and undo that. And let's see, I'll try and put it. I'll just kind of move it until it doesn't take up an entire placeholder. So this template has a lot of layers, so you just want to be careful. So I'll go ahead and just move this into place here. We can see it's kind of over my text right now. So now what I can do actually, if you right click on there, now we can see the different layers, right? So I can send this to the front or send it to the back. So if I click on send backward, we can see it's kind of losing its place here. I'll bring it forward and we're good to go. So there's different layers depending on what you are actually working with. So there's my little logo here. Looks pretty good. And if I wanted to go ahead and change any of the information in here, I can do so as well. And of course, I can zoom in. So I can zoom in to catch any little anomalies that are in here. I'm going to go ahead and scroll down. That looks pretty good. And of course, all of these we can edit these, right? So put 555 in here. Good to go. And I like this touch here. We have the little icons augmenting the actual text. And so that looks pretty good. And of course, down here, we can go ahead and just insert our actual address. And let's say, I'll just say MJ Academy at nosite.com. So this is reshaping because, let's see, text is too big for the text box there. So I'll just go ahead and put that detail. Actually, I'll just put, I'll make it a URL instead. Right. So pretty nice. So these work well right out of the box. I'll go ahead and zoom back to a comfortable level. And there we go. So if we wanted to add any other details in here, we could, right? So maybe we wanted to add a little text box for the enrollment fees. The challenge, of course, is going to just being able to fit everything in here, right? Because there's so many different elements in here. So you just want to be careful. We can see some of them are even overlapping the actual creation here, but that looks pretty good. I'll go ahead and go to full screen mode here. And this is pretty nice. So if you are presenting this to a family that's looking into the school, you can present this on screen and all the information is right there. So that is pretty cool. I'll go ahead and press the escape key. And so again, we have applications and creations for anything that you're looking for. Now, to put it all together, we're going to create from scratch here. Now, if you take a look, I created a business cards here. Here's the front of the business card, just says meet our team. And on the back side, we have 3 of our team leaders and their titles and an icon that represents their role here as well. So we'll keep it simple, but we'll learn a lot after we construct a business card that looks something like this. I'll go ahead and close this out. And so this is what the front will look like, and this is what the back will look like as well. So we'll go ahead and get this set up. So to do this, I'll go back to my home page here. I'll go ahead and close this out. And I'll click on Create a Design. And I want to look for a business card. And I want a business card, a landscape orientation. So I'll go ahead and click on this one. And of course, it's offering me some templates here to use. I don't want to use any of the templates. We want to be able to create our design from scratch. It's a great way for us to learn how the grid system works here. I'll go ahead and close this side pane, and I'm good to go. What I want to do is use my little action icon here. And I'll go ahead and just kind of set things up. So the quick actions, I'll go ahead and click here. And what I would like to do is just add a couple of placeholders. So placeholders here for the pictures. And then I want the little text placeholder in the middle with the description or the role or the title. And then I would like another icon over here that just kind of represents their actual role or job description. And then I'll go ahead and add a background color, depending on the pictures that I have, and try and get some nice contrast in there as well. So we can click on elements here and we can search for things like, picture placeholder. And some frames actually come up here, and that's perfectly fine as well. But I prefer to work with the quick actions here. It gives me a kind of a short list. So I'll click on picture placeholder. I'm using placeholders because once we have the placeholders and we insert our image, they will fit perfectly inside of the placeholder. So here are some different frames. So here's some basic ones. If I want to see more frames, if I click on See All, that will open up the design elements for me, and I'll see more of those picture frames that are available. Right? But if I'm okay with the ones that I have here, then I'm good to go. I actually want the other ones, so we'll click on See All here. And what I'm looking for, let's see. As you can see, quite a few, even text incorporating pictures in here. Some will actually have a grid where you can insert 4 pictures and so forth. I want this one. So I'll go ahead and just drag this to the canvas. Now this first one here is very important because I want room for 3. So if I click on the position button here, this will let me know the actual size. So right now the height is 2.55. Well, I can already see that I will not have room for 3 here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the File tab. I have to click on Settings to get here. What I want to do is I want to go ahead and show the rulers and the guides. That will kind of give me a good idea of how much space I have to work with. So here's my ruler over here. All right, so we can see we have just about 5 inches, a little less if we take away the actual margins. And as far as the width, we can see we have a little over 8 inches or 8 centimeters, not counting the margin as well. So what I would like to do is I'll go ahead and resize this placeholder. Right? I want to make it about 1.5. I can actually just click right here and change the height to 1.5. Once I press enter, I can see that. I don't like it because I'm going to undo, and I'll just put 1.5 right here. There we go. So now what I can do is I can duplicate that. So I'll go ahead and duplicate this one. And I'll just move this down. This one is going to be centered. So here are these temporary grid lines that we can see. We can see it's following the ruler as well. So I want to make sure that this is centered vertically here. I'll go ahead and duplicate this one as well. And I'll just make sure that they're all kind of aligned together and that they're equally spaced like that. So that looks pretty good. I probably need to make them a little smaller because I'm really close to the border down here, but that should be okay. Okay, so those are my 3 placeholders. Now what I want to do, I'll go ahead and insert a few text boxes here. And so here's my text box. I'll go ahead and move this, and I'll move it as close to the left as possible. I'll put it right there on the 2-inch line. And I want to leave 2 inches on the right as well. So I'll just expand this to about here. So this way I have just about 2 inches for my icons on the right. I'll go ahead and change the font in here. I'll go for another font type. Go for this one. And I'm good to go. Now this will automatically expand, so I'm not going to be too worried about changing the size for now. What I want to do is duplicate it. So I'll go ahead and duplicate that here. That one is going to be centered. Then I'll duplicate this one down here as well. I just want them all to be centered with my picture and centered there as well. Make sure that they're all aligned. So I'll go ahead and move this one over. Okay, so this one is from 2. This one is also right there. And this one is right there. So now they're all aligned. They're centered on their picture and they're centered vertically, and they're also aligned with each other as well. So again, I'm just setting up the structure here using the grid lines. Now, if I wanted to, I can actually turn some other things on. So if I wanted to turn on the guides, so here are those temporary guides that are in here that I can use. So if I wanted more of a 3x3 grid using the rule of thirds, this is a really, really nice option as well. I'll turn those off. And let's see, I do want I'll leave that here. Okay, so now I have the shell, and I'll go ahead and add some icons. So I'll go ahead and click on here. I'll search for some icons. I want to see all the icons. So this will open up over here to the left. And now I can go ahead and add an icon in here. The icons, now that I'm in the icon group, I can actually search within the icon library here. I'll go ahead and search for an icon, and I'll look for a designer, because my first role is going to be a designer. So I'll go ahead and drag this over here to the top right. And just like before, I'll click on the position, and that's a little too big. I'll make it maybe 1 inch. So it's going to be 1 by 1. And I'll position this right over here. Right. So that's kind of how we can set up the grid here. Now, what I could do actually, if I took care of this first line here, what I can actually do is if everything looks good, I'm going to get rid of these here. I can group these together. So if I'm pretty happy with the way that they're aligned, I can group them together, and then I can just duplicate it, and it will create those 3 objects for me on the other lines down here as well. So I'll just go ahead and make one final adjustment here with my text box right about there, and my icon come down right about there. So to group them together, I'll click on my image placeholder. I'll hold down the Shift key. I'll click on my text box, and then I'll also click on my icon. So now they're grouped. Now that they're grouped, I can go ahead and duplicate it. And now I can just simply move that entire grouping like this. I'll put that right there. And now I can duplicate this one as well. So we have several options when we're working, but that's how we can take advantage of the grid system. We'll come back and we'll add some content. Now that we have our grid set up, let's go ahead and add some content in here. So I'll go ahead and click on my quick actions here, and I want to look for some headshot photos. And here's some quick ones here. I'll go ahead and drag this picture into the placeholder like that. So there's one. I'll go ahead and add a few more. This time what I'll do is see all headshot photos. And here I go. I can go ahead and drag them in here. It's a little easier to do it from there because now I have multiples to select from. And then I'll go ahead and add another one in here. So there we go. So that looks pretty cool. So now I can go ahead and now I have my headshots. I don't have to worry about resizing the pictures. They fit pretty nice inside those placeholders. I'll just go ahead and add each of the roles here. So I'll say this is Kim, and Kim is our lead designer, or I'll just say design lead. This is going to be Ken, and Ken is going to be our quality assurance lead. And then finally, we'll call her April. April is our marketing lead. So now we just need to go ahead and use the appropriate icons. I'll leave this one for Kim as design. For Ken, quality assurance, I'll go ahead and delete this one. I'll look for some icons in here. So I'll type icons. And let's see, within icons now, I can look for quality assurance. And while I'm looking for icons, I just want to look for something that has kind of the similar layout. Some icons will be a little wider or taller. Looking for one that more has a 1 by 1 kind of dimension here. If I don't find what I'm looking for, I can always crop it to that 1 by 1. So that's perfectly fine. Now, this is sometimes why I prefer to use the quick actions here, because I get more relevant search results. Now, if I click See All, I can see the icons in here. Now, I can go ahead and look for quality. And here we go. So this one looks pretty good. I'll go ahead and drag this one over here. And remember, this one here is 1 centimeter high. This one is 2, so I'll change this to 1 as well. And press Enter. And now they're the same dimension. I'll just go ahead and make sure to align everything properly here. And I need to change this one. This one will be for marketing. So let's see if my icons are still here. They are. We'll go ahead and click on marketing. And some pretty nice looking icons here for marketing. A lot of them, though, they are much wider than the others. I'll click on See All. And let's see. Too many to choose from. I'll just choose this one. And you can see it's pretty big here. I'll go ahead and move this over here. The first thing I want to do is crop it to shape because I can see it's wider than the others. If I click on the position here, let's see what happens if I change it to 1 inch. We can see it's still very wide. So what I'll do, I'm going to go ahead and click on Edit Image, and I will crop it to the 1 by 1 proportion. So I'll click on Crop, and here's the 1:1 aspect ratio. And now I can just kind of move this around inside of the frame if I like. Be right about there. I'll click on Done, and there you go. I'll go ahead and align these as well. Make sure that they're equidistant from each other, and I'm good to go. So that looks pretty good. Now I can go ahead and change the background color if I want to. So I'll click a blank area on the canvas here. And right up here, I can go ahead and change the color. So I'll click on the background color. Now what's really nice is it tries to pick up some of the colors from the photos. So I can, utilize one of these. And I'll just go ahead and pick the one that looks pretty good. Not too much contrast. Maybe I'll go for this one for now. I can always change it later. If I scroll down to the bottom, there are some other colors that I can use. And I have different gradient fills as well. This one actually looks pretty good. I'll go for the gray gradient fill. That looks pretty nice as well. Okay, and then I'll go ahead and add a page. This one will be a little different. I'll actually move this over to the left. That's going to be page 1. And for this one, I just want just a header that says Meet Our Team and a photo of a team picture here. So I'll go back to my, let's see, team photo. I'll go down to photos here. I want to see all. And I want something that doesn't really have faces. This looks pretty good. So hands. There we go. Now I can just resize this. I'll make sure it's centered. Now actually, when you interact with the picture, we have a little icon here that we can click on. And let's see. Now that's the border style. If I click on position here, I can position it to the center. So I want to make sure it's centered both vertically and horizontally. So that's good to go. Then I'll insert a simple text. Okay, I'm not sure what I did there. Sure, I clicked on something I was not supposed to. Let's see, text. Here's my text box. I'll just move this up here. And I'll just say meet our team, or keep it simple. So meet our team, and I'm good to go. Now, if I wanted to, there's some other effects. So if I click on edit image here, I could, for example, remove the background or use some of the other options that are in here as well. I want to go ahead and let's see, I'll use the auto adjust, and that just kind of auto adjust that for me as well. So I'm good to go. So here's my business card, and just the basics, pretty simple, but now we know how the grid system works and how important it is to kind of set up your template before you start adding your content. Now I can go ahead and click on print with Canva, and now I can see how this would look on a business card. That looks very, very nice. Here's the front and here's the back. Here's some other examples of what it would look like. So pretty nice, right? Pretty cool. So that's just a really nice feature that we can have here. I'll go ahead and close that. Let's see what options I have for sharing so I can present it. Full screen. Here's page 1. Here's page 2. Pretty nice. So as we can see, Canva is a wonderful platform that allows us to create some beautiful designs. Feel free to just kind of scroll around and take a look, see what's new. Go ahead and utilize some templates to just get some inspiration. And when you're ready, go ahead and create a document from scratch and go ahead and make your creations there as well. So this is what we were able to cover today. We took a look at just getting started, just seeing what Canva can do. We learned some basic design principles, especially just kind of setting up your grid and then adding your content or using a template. We're able to create a few designs, such as a social media post, a business card, and an infographic as well. Once you actually created something, you can export it, or you can go ahead and share it, present it, print it, collaborate, and we're able to create some practical applications as well. So congratulations on completing our course. Go ahead and enjoy Canva and all that it has to offer. Create some presentations, some infographics, some documents, even resumes as well.